All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is Brother Mayung coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutation to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and its truth and sincerity. And just want to do a quick lesson going off this one little segment here, off this clip, off this video. And brothers that know or that have watched my videos recently have seen me talk about this guy RTD TV, and this is one of his latest videos entitled "The Next Banking Event Will Be Off the Charts." Monday morning check-in. This video actually came out earlier this week, and video has stood out to me, you know, as the week has progressed, and it was this particular part here, and you know, so now the Spirit's on me to go into it because, you know, things are ramping up. You know, I did recently a video entitled "The Sound Heard Around the Earth" or something like that, you know, and that being that sound of battle, and that's what we see taking place on the planet Earth, man. That's what we see the nations preparing for, and that's pretty much what you hear on alternative news, channels, you know, whatever you want to call it. They're also mentioning it on mainstream media. All right, but pretty much, man, you know, I'm gonna play a little bit of this clip, and you're gonna see. All right, and first, before I start off, man, because we've been telling people the things that you're going to hear this man say in the video, okay? We've been telling you these things starting from the apostles on down, man. All right? Of an invasion going to take place here in America. All right? People being sent off to the Middle East and to wherever other parts of the world. All right? Because as we see this... As we see World War III, ramping up, you know, America is spreading itself thin. All right, you have the war in Ukraine, which you're having a lot of talks about that, which is what you're going to hear this guy, the RTD, you know, or RDT TV, or however, whatever the channel's entitled. You're going to hear him bring out some information on what Britain's saying they're going to go into war, or they're going to go send troops over to Ukraine, which if they do that, Putin's already done or started nuclear readiness test. All right, but they're not going to have that. All right, because what would end up happening if they do end up going over there, Britain, that is, and they end up getting bombed, or they end up getting shot back at, it's going to be the start of World War III for sure, because although you do have World War III taking place now, a NATO member is going to have joined into this war, and as their constitution or their pledge or whatever the hell it's called, an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. All right, so hey, man, NATO would get involved, and you know that would bring a lot of big players to the table. But not only do you have that war in Ukraine, you also have the war out there in the Middle East with Israel, Hamas, Israel and Iran, Israel and Syria, you know, so on and so forth, and America being that the sucker that's fallen for the dirty, you know, for the what was that song called, Dirty Diana. All right, you know, as the scriptures say, man, you know, the least of the flock shall draw them in, roughly paraphrasing, and that's the least of the flock is that nation of Israel, the state of Israel. Okay, not the Israel of Israel, not the Israelites. All right, but the state of Israel, which was created started really at the end of World War I with the Balfour Declaration, but it didn't get fully enacted until like the end of World War II, around like 1948. All right, but you also have, all right, another front of this war, which is out there in Taiwan with China, which if I'm not mistaken, I haven't done too much digging into it, but America putting tariffs on China. All right, and you know, there's been threats made by China for the U.S. to not do those tariffs. But like I said, I haven't done too much detail, or I haven't gone too much into that, so I'm not going to speak too much more on that aside from that. But America is spreading itself thin, man. Here you have 3 different fronts and 3 different locations in the east. All right, starting with the Middle East, and you go further north, and you got Ukraine, and you go even further east. All right, to the rising of the sun, and you have Taiwan just off the coast of China, which again, these are all 3 major skirmishes that are taking place right now that are going to eventually lead to the destruction of America by its own allies and the enemies of America. Okay, who are the enemies of America? Well, they call themselves today the BRICS nations. All right, but as we've told you people countless times, over and over and over, for those of you that don't know, there will be a draft. There will be a World War III. The majority of you men will be sent off to the Middle East or to wherever else you need to go. You will die in the wars, and we're going to get those precepts. First, I want to play the clip. You're going to die. America will be invaded. Your women, your children are going to be ravished. Your houses are going to be spoiled. Okay, this place is America is gonna be touched. All right, as the scriptures say in Revelation 18, this place hasn't really been defiled like all the other nations. Well, America's getting ready to find out. They're gonna get ready to have a taste of their own medicine, so to say. All right, so these are all things that we've spoken of. All right, these are things that we've done videos on. All right, we've been out on the highways and byways, and we've talked about these things. We've presented you folks with the information years ago before all these things happened, and this is what you would call prophecy. All right, prophecy means to say before. All right, and what the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shai, has done is He's given His men, all right, the prophets, all right, the understanding and the wisdom, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to know what's taking place on the earth. All right, and real quick, let's get this in Amos 3 and 7. I'll start at verse 6 to say, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord hath not done it?" Right, man. And see, the prophets have been blaring the trumpet. All right, and the majority of you people haven't been afraid, man. Only a few. All right, only a few have made themselves ready, are gonna have made themselves ready in that time of judgment, man. But the majority of y'all are gonna get caught up with the wind. You're gonna get caught up with the floods that are getting ready to come upon the earth, man. All right, and this is not a flood of water. All right, this is not a winds that are gonna tear trees down. This is gonna be a wind of destruction and waters of destruction. All right, because the Lord, the flood that's getting ready to be sent upon the earth is not of water, because the Lord already promised us He wouldn't do that. This is going to be a flood of fire upon the earth, man. And as the scriptures say, battles of old were fought with noise, with confusion and noise, and garments rolled in blood, and that's how old wars were fought. You look at Vietnam, you look at World War II, World War I, these were battles where men were confronted one with another. All right, World War I believe they even still had bayonets on their musket guns. Okay, you had men slashing other men's stomachs wide open upon other bodies, man. Bullets flying, grenades, cannons, blasting, all types of confusion and noise, and garments rolled in blood, man. But the scripture goes on to say, but this battle shall be fought with fire and burning of fuel. Okay, and again, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, That's missile talk. That's telling you about the missiles, man. And that should bring fear to your heart. And you should consider in your mind, what should I do to escape these troubles? As Ezra said, woe is me, who shall deliver me in those days? That should be what you should say within yourself when you hear these things, man. Okay? But the majority of you people have eyes and you see not, and you have ears, but you hear not. Okay? Because if you had eyes to see, if you had a spiritual eye to envision what we're telling you, what we've envisioned through our mind's eye, you would see and you would hear, but you don't. So only this has been revealed unto the prophets. Verse 7, Amos 3:7, surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants the prophets. Because when you go into 2 Chronicles chapter 36, verses 15 and 16, the Lord always sends his prophets, all right, his messengers before, or as the scripture says, be times, because he has compassion on his people, man. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, the Lord has compassion upon you. So he sends his messengers out here to tell you of what's getting ready to take place before the Lord does it. Because the Lord has already declared the end from the beginning, as the scriptures tell us, man. Okay, and I believe that's in 2nd Ezra. All right, chapter 9. But the Lord has compassion upon his people, so he sends his messengers out here to tell you before he does something. And though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come, man. And that's what I'm going to start off with. Let's get that in Habakkuk chapter 2, and then we'll play this clip and go from there. Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'll start at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch, and this is what the prophets do, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. Right, and what are the prophets doing? We're sitting at our towers, and we're watching. We're watching for the enemy. We're watching for the Lord. We're taking note of things that are being done on the earth. Okay? And through Esau's technology, all right, and wisdom increasing upon the earth, we've been given an extra set of eyes through the internet to see what's being done around the earth. Okay? And that's why even these elites have come out and said, I believe it was, I don't remember the man's name. I want to say it was one of the Rothschilds, or could have been one of the Rockefellers or someone else, but it was one of the elites nonetheless that stated that the internet was the worst thing ever created, man. Because it gave niggas the access to information. It gave people the ability to see what was happening on the other side of the earth within a matter of seconds, minutes, okay? But now the men of the Lord, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai that was given unto them to know these things, okay, and to be able to decipher what's taking place on the earth, we're here to tell you that the end is nigh. And it is actually nigher than when we first believed, man. So we really nigh. We're really close to the day and the coming of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. All right, but it goes on to say, Habakkuk 2 and verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Right, and what is the vision? The prophecies, man. All right, and they were once upon a time seen, and they were written down on tablets, which is what we have today known as the scriptures. And today we read these scriptures and we envision it. The prophets see the visions in their mind's eye, and we make videos on it. That's the modern day tablet. Okay, these are the modern day scrolls, man. Is the videos, man. These are the epistles. All right, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, verse 3, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, man. So these visions that the Lord has revealed, the true understanding to his prophets, these things have a time and a place to take place, and we see the windows of opportunity open for World War III to pop off, which is mentioned in the scriptures, the third woe. And behold, it cometh quickly, man. As Yahushua himself said, he cometh quickly, man. And the destruction is going to be synonymous with Yahushua's return, man. Okay? Who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. All right. So let's play a little bit of this clip. All right. Salakia for my little rant there. Let's play a little bit, and I really don't have much, but I'm gonna just play this in its entirety. Fair use. Just bringing out this information to educate, others as well. So fair use, and Lord's will, the sound is clear. So without further ado, let me play. And I'm just gonna let it play until the point is made.
The U.S. will get involved, so the U.S. will more than likely mobilize troops and for whatever we have left, sending them in that region, therefore hollowing out our country's internal military to where there'll be no real security here on the ground. Then you activate all the sleeper cells that are here in our country right now, waiting for that call, whether from Iran or just from within our own agencies here, and the UN, which are here as well. And so there was let me share with you quick. I'm everywhere right now, but I think it all lines up. There was let me share this with you real quick here. Do I have it? Yeah, okay. So this is something that came across my radar. So from an interview, and they're talking about what's happening in the UK, but then it parallels exactly to what's happening here. It says, this is from Jim Ferguson, May 11th, said, exclusive breaking. The mass number of illegal immigrants pouring into our respective countries are in fact UN soldiers. It says, quote, these are UN soldiers and they will be deployed by the World Health Organization when they announce the next pandemic lockdown. And then it goes on to say, let me see. It says, so this is just his quote here from the UK version, but it just talks about, let me see, details, whatever. Okay, so these are emerging British forces. Okay, whatever. So it says here, the details that are emerging suggest that the British forces will be sent abroad to fight Russia in the Ukraine. In Ukraine, that will effectively leave no patriotic soldiers within Britain to protect the British population against the illegal migrants. Will be issued uniforms and given
And this is why we constantly tell you, man, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon you. Here they are. They're going to promise that they're going to bring peace and stability to the region by sending their troops out, but you're going to leave yourself vulnerable, and that's when that sudden destruction is going to come, because as I stated a couple of seconds ago, all the pieces are falling into place for the vision that is yet for an appointed time to take place, man. As I said, in the end it shall speak and not lie, man. Though it tarry, wait for it. And they keep promising you peace and safety. They keep telling you we're doing this, we're doing that to bring about stability, okay? And don't keep your eyes off the MOTB, man. The MOTB will come before the destruction. Okay? And in what order? That as the scriptures say, we see through a glass darkly, but soon face to face, man. Soon we're gonna see things clearly, because they're gonna be broad. It's gonna be clear and exact of what these devils are gonna be doing, man. But we see partly through a glass, man. We see things taking place. We just don't know exactly how it's gonna roll out. But you see, as he's saying, what's taking place over there in Britain is going to correlate directly with America, because not only was America stemmed from Britain, okay, we're one of their major allies, man. And the scriptures also say that her mother shall be sorely confounded, talking about Britain, or ashamed, or I believe is confounded. Okay, but Britain is going to be ashamed of America. They're going to, eventually they're going to shoot at this place. And we can see how that could be possible with Britain involving themselves in something that they think America is going to have their back in, and America, as always, reneges on their deals, okay, and on things that they say. So, and that's just me speaking as a man. As I said, we see, through a glass, darkly. We see in part and prophesy in part. All right. But soon we're gonna know. We're gonna know exactly how things are going to be playing out. All right. So let me continue reading, because as he said, let me keep playing the video, Salakia, because as he said, okay, the troops are going to be sent off to whatever region, and that's going to leave that country vulnerable for an attack. And we've been having especially here in America, we've been having all these talks about all these migrants coming in through the border, and how you have all these states that are that are pushing out this agenda to house these people, to give them money, to give them rights, guns, the ability to carry weapons. These are all things that are taking place that you can clearly see what this devil's doing, man. He's like, yo, he's setting us up for the okie doke. Okay, but let's continue play a little bit more of this video. We probably got about another minute left, but let me continue playing. Again, fair use.
By the globalists to police, control, and order the British people to stay at home, and will have the powers to get.
And they've done that before. All right. At the end of 2019, at the beginning of 2020. All right. You couldn't be out unless you had a pass. All right. So these things are things that have already been done, have already been tested out on you people. And guess what? The majority of you people obliged, man. You were okay with these things taking place and being done for what? For your safety, right? All right, then. That's why the scriptures say that. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right? Let's keep going.
Physical and arrest anyone who does not comply. It says this explains why Canada, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Europe are all facing the same plan by the globalists. So that's just one person's opinion, hypothesis, or whatever. He's saying that if we go to war, all military troops within our countries, respectively, will be sent to fight. Therefore, there will be nobody here in the U.S.
There you go, man. So these men, when we do, it's not if we do, it's when we do. Your men are going to be sent off to these wars, and guess what? They're not coming back. For you women that think you got a strong military man and you're receiving all these benefits, and well, you're getting ready to see a great loss in your life, man. Not only just by that man dying, but you losing all those things. All right. Let me get this in 2nd Ezra 16, and I encourage those of you that are tuning in to read this chapter, man, in its entirety. It's about 70 something verses, but it's a really, really good chapter. All right, speaking about what's getting ready to take place. Okay, but I'm gonna skip down to 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33. All right, 2nd Ezra 16 and 33. It says, "The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers." You see, a lot of men are going to be dead. A lot of men are going to be dying. Why? Verse 34. "In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine." So those that don't go to war, they're going to die here in famine. Why? Because a man's natural instinct is to take care of his family. Okay? And in times of hunger, guess who gets fed first? The women and children. The men are usually the last ones because they can endure it the longest. They would rather see their family not go hungry and they be hungry than for them to eat, which is, you got to have some sense to yourself. If you're the protector, you have to, you got to be good too. If you're going to protect anyone. All right. But a lot of men are going to die, man. That's the point. But the point being, in the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, man. It said, "Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord." You see, those of you that serve Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that believe in the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, man, it says, hear these words and understand them. Okay? Understand what's getting ready to take place upon the earth, man, and prepare yourself. Because these things are coming, whether you like it or not. And guess what? The Lord ain't going to take us out of it. We ain't just going to go unscathed, man. As Yahweh Shai prayed, he said, "I pray that thou should not take them out of the world, but that thou should keep them from the evils," man. So the Lord is going to protect us, but we still going to have to be here and witness these things take place, man. Okay, and so to say, stand in the kitchen and feel the heat, man, but not be burned. All right? But we're going to be in the midst of this. We're going to see these things take place here, specifically in Babylon the Great. You're going to see it take place in other parts of the world, especially nations of the West. All right? Especially nations that are allied with America. You're going to see these things take place because of who you're allied with. And ultimately, this is why Revelation 17 tells you that they're going to shoot at her with fire, man. All right? It goes on to say, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord, receive it, believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Yeah, man, don't believe there's other bullshit out here in this world, man. Stick to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, those are the only powers that are going to save you, man. That's going to direct you in the time of calamity, man. It says, verse 37, it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, man. So these things are close. And it's not gonna be another 50, 60, 10 years, man. This is coming soon. It's not slack anymore, man. Remember, this was written thousands of years ago. And we're getting ready to see this take place, man. Though it tarry, what? Wait for it. All right, let's finish off a little bit more of this video, and then I got one more precept.
Or Canada, or Australia, and then everybody who's been smuggled through the border will get their orders to then mount up, and they will, be walking around with, the blue hats on, UN vehicles around. So, like, when you hear stuff like that, it's stuff that makes you wonder, makes you think. There's definitely a lot at work here, a lot at play here, and once again, you won't hear about these perspectives from anywhere other than mainstream media. Other than alternative media. But also another thing is, I'm rambling, but yesterday there was that you can see on the screen here, there was a Trump rally in New Jersey.
Yeah, and that was pretty much it, man. But as he said, man, that's gonna leave this place vulnerable for the great takeover, man. For that great touching of this whore. All right, which is known as America. All right, let's get this in Revelation 18 real fast. Revelation 18, and I believe verse 7. And it reads, how much she had glorified herself, talking about America, and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. See, and that's the pride of America, is that they believe that, they're all that they're not going to be touched, that they can't be touched, and that they're not going to see no loss of life. It says, verse 8, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, the missiles, the destruction of America, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And this is what we're going to see here, witness, man. We're going to be, a lot of you Americans are going to die in what's getting ready to come here to America, man. Those that believe on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for the most part, are going to be unscathed, man. We're going to see 1,000 fall at our right hand and 1,000 fall on our left side and our left hand, and death shall not come nigh us, man. We're going to be good. All right? But these things will take place, man. And let's close out with this in Isaiah chapter 13. All right, skip on down. Talk about the missiles here in the beginning. And I'll start at verse 11. Isaiah 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil. You see, and this is what you people don't understand, man, is that this is an evil world. And people say it. This is common knowledge, man. Everybody knows that this present world that we live in is an evil world, man. This is wicked. Okay, the majority of the people, especially here in America, would agree with that, right? Said, and I will punish the world. See, so there's a punishment that's getting ready to come for the wickedness that's being done on the earth, man. Okay, he says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. You see, so that pride of America, the Lord's going to cause that shit to stop. There ain't going to be no more pride. You're not going to have any more pride left over when your ass is grass, man. All right. So let's finish up here. and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than a fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that those men that are going to be considered gold, that are going to be precious in these times, are going to be men of the Lord. Why? Because we have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And as the scriptures tell us, all right, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding shall be the stability of thy times, man. This is what's going to be, this is what's going to drive you to life, man, is having the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Heavenly Father, to understand why these things are taking place upon the earth, and how to escape. Okay. But it says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. Right, because when these missiles start to get sent off and start hitting their locations, it's going to be a great shaking on the earth, man. Okay, verse 14, and it shall be as the chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. And we've been seeing this taking place, man. We've been seeing people fleeing back to their countries. All right, especially here in America, people leaving their country, okay, or leaving this country. The smart, the people who have the money to do so, and they're leaving, man, because they see a great collapse economically, and they're seeing a decline in America's power on the earth, man. It says, verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So this is that great taking over that's going to happen here, that great invasion. Okay? If you get caught out here, man, you're going to be, as the scripture said, thrust through, man. You're going to be taken. Your soul is going to be taken. All right? And you're going to be left without, man, without remedy. And what it say? Your children are going to be dashed to pieces before your eyes, man. And your house is going to be spoiled, and your what? Your wives ravished. Watch that movie Law Abiding Citizen in just the first couple minutes, man. And see what happened to that guy in that movie, and you get a good imagery of that verse. Okay, Isaiah 13 and 16. Okay, so I mean, we can keep going on in this chapter, but I'll leave that to for those of you watching to read the rest of this chapter, man. But hey, man, this is what we see happening. This is what's going to take place, man. You know, so hey, Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and his truth and sincerity. With that, we say Shalom.